Of course. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining. What I'll do today is I'll just give you a little bit of an overview to myself, how I support the business, and then I'll talk a little bit about Greystar, and then of course leave us some time at the end to go through any questions that you have. Okay. So first and foremost, my name is Brittany Barney, and I work here locally with Greystar in Charleston as a talent acquisition advisor. I primarily support our corporate teams with recruitment and hiring. And along with that, I also support a variety of our campus recruiting initiatives, mostly in Charleston, but for some of our corporate teams, it's in other locations like in Texas and Florida, really kind of all over the US when you think about it. Now, I do work out of our Charleston office. We are all working remotely in the current climate with COVID, but hopefully we'll be back in office in June. All right, so I'll leave that as enough. I think that's probably enough about me, and I'll go ahead and jump right in and talk about Greystar. All right, great. So who is Greystar? With y'all being here in Charleston, some of you may be familiar with our company, familiar with our brand already. So if I'm speaking to something please go ahead and forgive me. But just to give you a very high level overview, Greystar is a leading, fully integrated real estate company that offers expertise in investment management, development and construction, and management of rental housing properties globally. So it might be a little bit hard to see here, but the one thing that I'll point out is that Charleston, South Carolina is actually our global headquarters, which I think is pretty exciting. All right, this page I love. It just gives you a little bit of a snapshot and an overview from where we started and how we grew in some key milestones that helped us grow into the company that we are today. I won't go through all of these. You should certainly be able to see this on our website if you wanted to dig in a little bit deeper. But when you think about a company and a company growing to the size of Greystar, it's not something that happens overnight, right? It's something that happens with strategic acquisitions, strategic growth, and milestones that help you become a larger and vertically integrated company. All right, great. So this, in the next kind of slides, I'll just go over our three operating lines of business. When you think about a vertically integrated company, you might think, what does that mean? So essentially what that means is we have what we call three line of business areas. There are three different areas of business that generate revenue for the company. So I'll touch on each of those a little bit, and you'll find that we have full-time and internship opportunities in all of those areas. So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about our property management line of business. So the reason that I talk about this first is because it is certainly our largest in terms of employees and most significant, and likely what we're the most well known for. That's probably because we're ranked the #1 manager of US rental apartments. We have 660,000 units and student beds under management globally, representing over $210 billion in real estate. We have a presence in nearly 200 global markets, and we're serving over 500 property management clients. So what that particular piece means, because I had to learn that when I came to Greystar, is that Greystar will manage properties if they're not Greystar owned. So we might have a bank or an institutional partner that owns a multifamily housing unit or an apartment complex and says, I think Greystar is great. You're reputable and well known for how you manage and run properties. You're efficient. You have great marketing programs. We want you to manage this property for us. And so we'll come in and we will manage that particular property, even though we don't own it. Now, there are some properties that Greystar owns, but I would say the majority of the properties that we're managing are owned by other clients. Now, in this particular line of business, you'll find we have almost 16,000 team members globally. And now out of our whole 19,000 team members within the entire company, you can see that this makes up a significant portion of the business as a whole. And so to talk about what those team members do in this particular area, you'll see in some of the pictures, right? It might be indicative. You probably know this already. But we might have someone that's a leasing consultant. So let's say you go into an apartment and you're looking to rent an apartment. They'll kind of walk you around the complex, talk you through the leasing process and show you the different types of units. And then, you might have a maintenance technician, somebody who's there to help fix your appliances and things when they go wrong. So really the whole gamut, all the way up through leadership, marketing, and support roles to support this specific area of business. All right. Moving on. Next, I'll talk about our investment management line of business. I think sometimes folks are surprised to learn, aside from the property management, that we do have our other two lines of business. So the first, again, I'll talk about is investment management. We are currently managing over $21.4 billion of equity worldwide, overseeing a global real estate portfolio of over 37.4 billion, with 172,000 units in the portfolio. I'll point out that we are the largest student housing owner in Spain, and we are ranked number 3 owner of UK student housing. So I think that's exciting. And you'll find in this particular line of business, we have more than 900 team members on a global scale and growing. All right, and then last but not least is our development and construction arm of our business. What I have to say, when I first started learning about Greystar before I came to work for the company, somebody told me about this particular arm of business, and I think I was the most surprised to learn about this and really kind of wrapped my head around the fact that Greystar has its own construction team that have, as what we call boots on the ground, building multifamily housing units, student housing units from the ground up, which I thought was pretty exciting. So we're ranked the number 2 developer and number 9 general contractor of US multifamily housing. We sponsored 191 multifamily projects in the US, comprising of over 53,000 units, with a market capitalization of nearly 17.2 billion. And our current US pipeline consists of 58 projects across 44 cities, with a total capitalized value of nearly 7.2 billion. Now, in this particular line of business, we have more than 500 team members globally. All right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is when you think about the type of apartment offering we have, we are the most well known for our multifamily housing, which is your standard apartment complex that you'll see. Now, we are building out 2 additional platforms within our portfolios that you'll hear me just highlight briefly. First of those being student housing. And you also probably heard me just talk about that on the last slide or the previous 2 slides ago with investment management. It's definitely a rapidly growing platform for us. We have become one of the largest developers, owners, and managers of high quality collegiate housing communities. So what that means is we're working with universities to build on and off campus housing. Right now, there are 125 communities. 84 of those are owned by Greystar, and 41 of those are just managed by Greystar, comprising 68,524 total beds, where we're managing these platforms for 32 clients. And we do have about 1.5 billion in development in our pipeline just for student housing alone. And that's again on a global scale, which I think is very exciting. And then the other asset class that I'll manage is our active adult platform. Again, another platform that we're seeing grow within our portfolio. So I'd just like to mention that. Now, we aim to be the best senior housing, providing community, service, and a sense of home. Now, within this particular platform, we will target residents that are around 60 to 85 years old. Right now, we have 43 properties under management, and there's 6 properties under construction. This platform looks a little bit different because we have 4 overall brands that you'll see that we really align to the different decor, theme, amenities that you'll find within the particular property. And then you'll see some of our top capital partners that are invested in this particular platform, such as the Carlyle Group, some of you may have heard of, Eagle Realty, Retirement System of Texas, and UBS. All right, so enough about that. That really covers our operating lines of business, how we're a vertically integrated organization, and some of the different platforms and asset classes that we offer that we build, develop, grow, and manage. Now, I would love to just touch upon our culture because I think realistically, for me as a full-time recruiter, whether I'm talking to a seasoned, tenured team member that's interviewing for a role with Greystar, or even an intern, the number one most important thing is culture. And I do think that's one of the most fantastic things about Greystar. And the thing that I enjoy most about working at Greystar is our culture. And it really is built off of these 2 things here that you see on my screen. First, you'll see our pillars of excellence, and then you'll see our core values. So the one thing that I like to mention with this, I think every company has some type of values or pillars or just key principles that guide their actions as an organization. What I love about Greystar is that you hear us talk about these and they're at the forefront of our minds in a lot of interactions and conversations. In fact, you'll find that for individual team members' performance reviews, the thing that they're measuring your initial success off of is also based off of the core values. So as you're reviewing your work and looking back on your work for the year, you're constantly thinking about how was I operating with integrity in my job this year? How was I acting with professionalism, respect, accountability, teamwork, and service? Not just service to great or service to my colleagues, but service to my community, which I think is so unique because again, it really just shows the commitment that we have to making sure this is truly a part of who we are and what we do. And I think it has really helped us have a thriving company and really gives everybody a rewarding career. And then I think the thing that I like most about this is you'll hear our CEO talk all the time about our culture is our secret sauce. It's our secret to our success. And when he'll host a town hall meetings with the entire company, and people always ask, what do you think it is that contributes to us being the global leader? And he says it's the people. It's the people. And when you have someone like that at the top down, who's not only living and breathing these pillars and core values, but believes in his people, I think you can feel that within the company and the company is more successful as a result. You can tell it's something I'm excited about, right? And that I love to talk about. All right, good. So now a couple of things that I like to discuss. I think community and corporate social responsibility is a very important thing speak to are interested in to know what type of opportunities they have to give back long term and what Greystar does to be involved. So there are three things that I'll talk about here. First is Greystar Giving, which is a company-wide focus on our philanthropic efforts, which currently includes kids, St. Jude, and Camp Hope, among other local charities. We also have something called Greystar Scholars, which is a program that provides financial assistance to dependents or usually children of Greystar team members who are graduating from high school or students who are attending accredited universities or colleges. And then this is one of my favorite things that we do within the organization is something called Stars in Need. So this is funded by team members for team members. And this national program provides federal financial assistance to team members and their families who are experiencing significant hardship that lead to severe financial needs. So you can see how our community is influenced in a lot of different areas and how it is truly a part of who we are and what we do. And then the next piece I'm really excited to talk about because this is definitely something that's continuing to grow and expand within the organization. So diversity and inclusion, you'll find at Greystar our core values are an environment of diversity, inclusion, and belonging, and establish a foundation to serve our team members, residents, communities, and partners. We're very focused on creating and maintaining a culture and environment where everyone feels valued and has a sense of belonging. How are we doing that? We have a DEI council, national council, that's focused on a variety of initiatives that we can roll out on a national scale and on a local scale. And we're regularly hearing updates from that group on a quarterly basis with all company meetings, which I think is really exciting. They've also helped form our regional DEI resource groups to help carry out some of those initiatives on a local basis and really make sure that that's being seen through to fruition. And then we also have an unconscious bias training for all team members. I'm excited to see this area continue to grow, especially as our DEI groups are working diligently to really make sure we're cultivating that culture and community of belonging. And then the last piece that I'll talk here about, when you think about construction, this is a big question that we get, is sustainability. So Greystar is committed to minimizing its environmental impacts through continuous improvement of its energy performance and through sustainable operating practices. Definitely an area where I think there, from no matter the company, there's opportunities for growth. I think it's really exciting to see some of the green building methods that are out there. And it's definitely something that Greystar is consistently evaluating and looking at. All right, now the most exciting thing, and probably what you all are here for, right? Learn about our intern program. Part of our group, I sit within our corporate recruiting and campus recruiting program. So I support with our corporate recruiting and also support with internship recruiting for some of those particular teams. To give you a high level overview to our intern program and what it looks like, and then we'll talk about some of the more specifics and of course go through specific questions you have in the Q&A. But you'll typically find we have positions in leasing, investment management, development, construction, accounting, marketing, communications, and information technology, or IT. It's usually about 10 weeks long. We start normally the first or second week in June, and positions are available across all corporate offices and properties in the US. The program will include an orientation, a variety of networking opportunities within the business, not only within the team that you're working with, but also across different teams and areas, a peer mentor, weekly lunch and learn sessions, a virtual book club. There will be small group projects available that will be outside of your line of business. You can have that cross-functional training and learn about more areas of Greystar and what they do and how they support the business. And then last but not least, a capstone project and presentation. The one most important thing that I like to talk about when I'm talking about our intern program is that this isn't your standard internship program where you might be running and grabbing some or just, making copies or filing paperwork. It's a true hands-on role. So for somebody that's really looking to learn, say, accounting, you're going to sit and watch a full month-end close process, and the team will give you job duties and functions that will assist them with that. So you're getting real on-the-job training and experience. The other thing that I like to mention is for our intern program, we typically accept rising seniors. So if you're a junior going into your senior year, because the end goal of the program is for it to be almost like a mutual long-term interview. We want you to come in, get to know the team that you're supporting and working with, and then the team will get to know you. And if it's a match, then we hope to be able to offer that individual a full-time position upon graduating the following year. So just to kind of tell you a little bit about that. Here's some of the contact information for our campus recruiting team. And what I'll do is I'll also share my email address specifically for you so you can reach out to go through some of the positions I personally am recruiting for now locally. We do have full-time roles, full-time undergraduate roles, and we have internship opportunities available. A majority of those are in accounting. We do have some in marketing, some in IT operations, kind of business area. And then I think a majority of our other roles have been filled, but on our main careers page, there's also a campus portion where you can view a variety of our current open campus opportunities. So that is my high level overview today. How did I do, everybody?
I think you did great.
Good.
Good job.
What I'll do here is I'll quit sharing my screen. And if you'd like, I'd be happy to go through some of the Q&A. Y'all just let me know how you want to take it from here.